broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Man, I love this intro song. It's so catchy. Hi, AfterBuzzers. You are watching the AfterBuzz TV after show for the brand spanking new and totally awesome Netflix series, The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I'm your host, Kylie Hodges. Please tweet at us during the show, hashtag ABTV UKS. That was really hard to not screw up. And also, subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. Talk to us on the chat roll. You can also find us on iTunes and SoundCloud. That is such a long intro. Who are my co-hosts? Introduce yourselves.
I'm Danica Kennedy.
Hey guys, I'm Hannah Prichard.
Hey guys, I'm Sam Davidson.
So excited to be here. Thanks for being here, guys. Or gals. I guess it's an all-lady panel this week.
Yeah, all girls night.
How are we feeling about episode 2?
Still dig it.
Love it.
Yep. I love Jacqueline's bitchy stepdaughter.
Oh
yes.
my god, me too. And she's on like an ABC Family show too, so to see her on this, I was like, yeah, girl.
Yeah, I was trying to think which one. I couldn't pinpoint
Chasing
exactly.
Life, I remember.
I love Chasing. Oh, she's the best friend. Got it.
Xanthippe is her name. I had to Google her name because in all of my notes, I write her name differently. The first time I wrote San Felipe. The next time I wrote like a bunch of Z's and a bunch of P's. Well, and then I had to search, and it's
I thought it was
with an
Sam,
X.
and I got very excited.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's weird how they're saying Sam. It's not right.
An exotic version of Sam.
Clearly you and Kimmy had the same issue because every time she pronounced it a different way.
Xanadu?
Yeah.
I wonder what that name is supposed to mean or come from, though. I
Right?
hope there's like some backstory that comes up later for why she has that name, because it's so weird and random.
I feel like it's so fitting, though, because if it's like a wealthy family in New York, you know, and they're giving her some like pretentious name.
It's gonna be something ridiculous.
It's probably like Celtic for like wilting flower. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
it's just not a name, really.
Nope. Or she gave it to herself. I'm waiting for her to be
Yeah.
like, no, I chose
Like,
this.
my name's Jessica.
Yeah.
So it's day 2. The series is, so far, it's been each episode is one day. So episode 2 is day 2, and it's the episode is called Kimmy Gets a Job. And so it starts right out where Kimmy's giving herself a pep talk. She's good at those. And she goes to get her job back. And she goes to the Voorhees house, and the maid answers the door and says, like, the Wendy's hamburger girl is here.
Which she does look like. When she said that, I was like, oh my god, she looks like Wendy.
her.
Yep.
She looks like Wendy. Wait, it was Wendy. That was the name, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
But she says, like, it is the girl from the Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers commercial. I love this show because, like, I feel like whenever we recap it, it's just, like, laughing about the best parts, but they usually don't even have to do with the plot. It's just the most ridiculous little weird one-liners that Tina has, like, slid in there.
Absolutely true. And I feel like you can hear Tina's voice in all of the one-liner jokes. You're like, oh yeah, I can see Tina being like, oh, that's funny. Let's put that down.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm just like waiting for her to come in, and I'm like, she's not, but I don't think she is. She's not coming in.
I predicted
spoiler
a Tina
alert.
cameo, yeah.
She will make a cameo.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw somebody tweet something about it, and I was like, oh, she's coming on.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
I mean, I confessed this last week. I have, you know, binged watched the show already. I will not break anything, but I'm sure some of you guys that are watching at home also snuck ahead. And yes, Tina will make an appearance, thank God, but I won't tell you how. So I'm glad she's in it, though.
Praise Tina. I'm so glad this show exists. I had been missing her. I already said this last week. Anyways, so basically, this day is supposed to be Buckley's birthday party. And the mom, Jacqueline, cares more about the party welcoming her, what sounds like very old and
Right, how old
and
is
rich
he?
husband. I mean, I don't know.
At one point, she made it sound like he was nearly on his deathbed. I'm like, what?
It's hard because I want to ask you questions. I'm like, do we know who this, like, are we going to see him? Are we going to meet him?
You'll just have to wait to find out,
I want it to be somebody awesome and hilarious.
Well,
and I think the casting of the show is brilliant. And I have the feeling that character is going to be pretty brilliant, whoever it is.
Julian.
Yes.
I want Julian to, like, the first time we see him be, like, wheeled in a wheelchair, and he's like already dead. It's kind of like Weekend at Bernie's, you know, where, like, no one acknowledges that he's dead.
And Jacqueline just uses him as a puppet, and she's like, "Oh, you love me, I love you," and it's just like a back and forth thing, and he's just been dead the whole time.
Yeah, Tina, like, if you're watching, take notes. Writers, season 2.
Yeah, hello.
She's Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah,
basically. I feel like she's gold digger.
She totally is. So her husband Julian is in London, so the party has to be perfect for him and all of the 20 children and their Caribbean chaperones that will be attending with them. So I guess this is kind of like a second chance for Kimmy to get her job back, which is pretty exciting, considering she's already got a roommate and a pair of light-up shoes. What more could a girl ask for?
I miss those. I kind of want to get them now.
That's what I said last week. I want them so bad. And I'm like, what do I need to do to, like, convince somebody to send me those? Like, we're going to say it every week until, like, just some random person.
Tina needs to capitalize on this Kimmy character and start making, like, a Kimmy Schmidt line of clothing.
Absolutely. I mean, somebody's totally going to be here for Halloween. Like, that's going to be a costume.
Exclusively at Target, the Kimmy Schmidt line. And it'll just be the sweater, the pants, and the shoes. Anyways, okay, so Titus, he is in Times Square, and he's all down in the dumps because he's thinking about all the money he could be doing with his costume, but he can't get his deposit back, and good old Kimmy liberates him to go and take it back. And we'll just follow the Titus storyline for a second because it's kind of short. So he goes to this costume store, and Ray is the guy that owns it, and he's like this crotchety old man.
Gross.
And he's like, no, I'm not going to give you your money back. And so, again, Titus is down in the dumps because that $200 could have been a show.
One picture.
Yeah.
One headshot.
Yeah, one headshot. And so he gets a gang of all the costume people together, which I thought was just hysterical because they're all like dilapidated versions.
Especially Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
Call out to Miss Piggy. That was amazing.
Right? I just kept waiting for them to go, though, to Buckley's birthday party. Like, that would have changed the whole, like, superhero birthday party into something big. I was like, when she kept being told that she needed to make it a bigger, extravagant thing, and then we'd go straight back to Titus, like, struggling in Times Square. I'm like, why don't we bring this all together? And they just show up at the same party, and there's all these crazy-looking, like, superhero / like, freak costume people walking around, and then it would be more light, but we never went there.
Yeah,
but I thought that was a shame. Missed opportunity right there.
Yeah, I wish they got the creepier characters. I've been, like, working near Hollywood Boulevard lately, and so I keep seeing the characters every day, and those people are so weird. Sorry if you're watching. Whatever. Sorry, not sorry.
They're my neighbors.
They're so
I don't hate you.
Crazy. Like, you go up to Minnie Mouse and you think, oh, Minnie Mouse, I'm gonna get a picture. And it's like, hey, like, give me $10. And you're like, ah. I wish they kind of, like, went with, like, the craziness of those characters and, like, their personal lives and plots a little bit more, even though it was just
that's just a whole other show.
Yeah.
But I've seen that costume on Hollywood Boulevard, the Transformer or
the Iron
Man, the Iron Man that also looks like Transformer. That costume, I know that guy. Well, he says that he loves me, but
the extent of your
it's just when I walk to
relationship.
LA Fitness in the morning,
Wow.
I have to pass him every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, the life of a costume character is not easy. They probably just need friends, and that's why he's reaching out to you, saying he loves you.
Thank you.
Be his friend.
I am his friend.
So Titus gets the gang, and they're all outraged because, well, he gets the gang together. I totally jumped ahead, but he's on the subway, and Horatio Sands makes a cameo, which I love him from SNL.
Yes.
It's like a mariachi guy.
Yeah. And he's like, we got scammed out of getting our deposit too, and we used to have my mom wash our costumes every day or whatever. It was funny stuff. Anyways, I just got really excited to see Horatio Sands because it's like 30 Rock kind of felt like an SNL reunion over time, and I feel like this might also be the same.
Yeah. And I know you guys have touched on this, but the whole thing just feels, the story isn't familiar. The people aren't necessarily all familiar, but the tone of it is, I mean, if you watch 30 Rock and SNL, it's just, and you can't really describe exactly what it is about this show that is so similar to it, but you just know that Tina Fey is behind it all.
It's so Tina. Well, and building on that, I know last week that I said that the music really sounded very Tina-y as well, like super heavy on the trumpets, but I actually was listening to the theme song, or it was like during the end credits they play that music again, and for a second it kind of sounded like the Parks and Rec song to me.
A little
Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, because you know Parks and Rec is kind of like, and yeah, you know what I mean? And it kind of sounded like that for a second, so I was like, is Amy doing some sort of secret music mixing?
I mean, Amy and Tina are friends, so, you know, great minds think alike and hang out together, apparently.
Does Amy show up on it?
This is so hard.
No.
See, poor Danica, she's like a wealth of knowledge, and like everyone watching has probably seen the whole series.
I know.
But we have to do it episode by episode. You guys, we're dying.
I know, I cheated. Bad girl over
And they
here.
probably just tune in to make fun of us and be like, they don't know what they're talking about because we watched the whole thing.
It's like we should all just like take 12 hours, get a bunch of bottles of wine, sit in the theater, just watch it all, and just shoot them all straight. Because that's how people are watching it. And it's such an interesting, though, like, form of how we're watching TV now, so we don't really know what to do.
It's the way to do it, in my opinion.
To the people that are listening and watching, I want you guys to comment and tell us how you watched it. Like, did you binge watch the entire thing in one sitting, or 2 or 3? Have you already watched the series 10 times in a row? Because I'm kind of curious. Most people that I've talked to have said they watched it already twice.
Yeah.
The whole series.
And I want to know what everybody's munchies of choice were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times you've watched it, and what are your munchies?
Good questions.
So, back to the story. So then, Titus gets all of the costume people together, and they go back to Ray Ray. And they demand their costumes, and he says no, and then they say, like, something about intellectual property, and Titus knows that from trying to do a one-man show of The Lion King, and they just serve him papers.
Because I always think, too, which is so, like, kind of not off subject, but because he brought it back to the copyright of him just randomly doing a play, and I was like, I always wondered, too, about all that copyright stuff if you just, like, randomly put on your own little thing. So I thought that was funny, too, because I'm sure people do that, and, like, to watch that one man serve him while he's putting on his Lion King presentation, I thought it was hilarious. With the cat,
Wait, why did he just give it to him? Was it, whose cat was it?
Didn't matter.
Probably wasn't his.
Probably found it on the street.
Simba. Yeah, Simba from the streets. Part of the musical.
New York's own Simba. So then they get their money back, and Titus is feeling super rich. In the meantime, all hell is breaking loose in the Voorhees household as Kimmy is trying to plan a birthday party on top of dealing with a 15-year-old snotty stepdaughter named Xanthippe. The worst name ever. And we see her for the first time. She brings, like, her drunk friend in. And I love that she's acting all dramatic, like she's gonna get alcohol poisoning, call 911. But the girl is just
functioning.
Like, totally, she was just tipsy, and she probably wasn't even really drunk. She was just, like,
faking it,
acting
I thought the
like
same
a 15-year-old who is drunk. You know?
And then I was like, does that make me an alcoholic for being like, this chick is okay. She's absolutely fine. She does not need her stomach bump. Give her some saltines. That chick is all right.
My favorite line of hers, though, was that, oh, I have sex with people when I visit my grandparents, too. It was the best.
Yeah, hot, tan, surfer. What did she say? She was like describing him.
Yeah,
so great.
Doesn't everybody go hook up with people when they visit their grandparents? I mean, hello.
My favorite line in this whole episode was when Kimmy was getting her job back. Backtrack a sec.
Yeah.
When Jacqueline's coming down the stairs and she's like, oh, good, I just have so much on my plate. Not literally, of course. I was just like, yes, I love that line. It has nothing to do with anything, but it's just such a great line that I'm going to throw into conversation, even though I'm totally not on a diet. You know? It's a good line.
I hate to keep comparing this to 30 Rock, but I feel like everybody is in a sense.
Of course.
But I just realized that Tina's pretty good at making fun of, like, the young teen generation, because I just thought of Jenna, the like reception. Was that her? No, the receptionist. What was her name?
What's her
Serene.
name?
Oh, Serene.
Serene,
Yeah.
the receptionist in 30 Rock, and she was like, you know, she was always wearing like denim miniskirts and tank tops, and was always like texting and like the worst employee ever.
But I
she
think-
was also the most
yeah.
hip.
But what Tina's trying to say, though, because in that show, she became a cool character.
Yeah.
And so, also in this show, we know that, you know, Kimmy is going to have a connection with this girl with
Xanthippe.
with the Xanthippe, because they both love the Babysitters Club, and that
do.
takes a real weird person. I mean, I love it too.
Whoa, I love
Hey,
the
when I
Babysitters
say
Club.
weird, I think of myself as one of the weirdest people in the world, so it's a humongous compliment. But I truly think that they're going to become friends.
Everybody
Yeah.
watching is probably like, damn it, Sam, I love the Babysitters Club. How dare you call me weird?
I read all of them, and like the Post series too. Those were kind of weird.
And at the dolls. I mean, does nobody remember those creepy Babysitters Club
I
dolls?
didn't read them. What? I'm not weird.
Yeah, you're the weird one.
No,
I
yeah,
guess.
you're the
Cool
weird
kid side of
one.
the table, Dad.
Lies.
I'm the weird one. No, I never read Babysitters Club. My mom didn't let me.
You missed
I
out.
guess I didn't ask though. She just gave me books, and she never gave me
It would have
those,
given
so.
you great hookup ideas to
Yeah.
lie to your friends with.
I could have been telling my friends at 15 I was
Yes.
having sex with a guy on the beach named Thrash or Crash.
What was it? Yeah, something like
Thrash.
that.
After he surfed.
Yeah. Right.
Another thing about Xanthippe is how Jacqueline is scared of her. And she goes, Jacqueline says, I swear to God she said San Felipe, but maybe she said Xanthippe. I wrote down San Felipe. She goes, Xanthippe is so cool and mean, and sometimes she'll call me MILF and then turn around and say not.
Which reminded me so much of Mean Girls, actually. I was like, that is so much like Amy Poehler's
Yeah.
character in Mean Girls. The way that she has, like, scripted that mother-daughter relationship.
I didn't think about that, but that's like really accurate.
Yeah.
Also written by Tina Fey.
Yeah.
So
What?
it makes sense. The genius.
Favorite thing in the whole world.
Clearly
Love
she has
Tina.
some consistent themes.
Yes.
I love how Jacqueline, she was like, sometimes I hide behind pillars at parties and just watch them. Her and her friends are so mean. I love that.
Yeah, the stepdaughter character is really great. I hope we see a lot more of her. So then this superhero themed birthday party, in all birthday parties that I've ever seen, looks like an effing awesome birthday party.
Right?
And then Jacqueline just shits all over it and is like, this looks like a child's party. But we
Well,
never
yeah.
really
It is.
find out. The thing, exactly, it is. But we never really find out what it is that Jacqueline wanted out of it.
Well, clearly...
She's just so, like, delusional anyway with her
Right.
marriage.
I feel like she wanted almost like a dinner party that had like, you know, maybe hints and themes of superheroes, but
Right.
no kids like streamers or anything. Like everybody needed to be in like pumps and waiters and servers and like little hors d'oeuvres or whatever. But they never turned it into that. She was like, you get a second chance to do it. And I was like, the party still looks the same.
Yeah.
Well, she just wanted a party.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
It actually got a little creepy when she's dressed up as the flight
I
attendant.
know it.
And she's like, we're going to reenact our first date, which I wrote down the details. So she used to be a flight attendant. She was a stewardess on the flight. And Julian, her current husband, was on the flight returning from Bush's second inauguration. So he was obviously DTF. But they couldn't go to his wife's house. So they went to an office and they snuggled all night long because he fell asleep on top of her. That, to me, spells out the
Romance.
beginning of a very successful
Sounds
marriage.
like a very old man. Is why I'm like, okay, so how old is this man? He
Maybe she
sat
had
down on
to
top
hold
of
his
you.
oxygen mask, too.
Right?
Well, how old are we saying Jacqueline is?
She's probably in her 40s, maybe.
Which cracked me up.
45?
Yeah.
We're saying? Okay.
Which cracked me up when she was like Xanthippe or whatever. She's like, well, we're nearly the same age. I'm like,
Yes.
no, you are not.
Not,
You're not
at
even
all.
close.
In her mind. She's
Right?
so young.
Oh, Jacqueline. I love her. She might be my favorite character. But I'm a huge Jane Krakowski fan. I mean, she nails it on the head with all of her characters. And this character is definitely very similar to Jenna from 30 Rock. and I
It's
love her,
like
too.
almost, it would be if Jenna just took like a little bit of a different life path.
Yeah.
And it could have, she would still just make a different choice and not be an actress. And then this would be
Yeah, the
Jacqueline.
narcissism is still there, though.
I need
Yeah.
to watch 30 Rock because I
Oh,
like you guys have all
gosh.
these, and I'm
Homework.
like, I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
went through it in a few weeks. Just go.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
go.
Binge watch.
Like we said, Netflix will just turn it right on over for me, so let's do it.
That's the black hole that is watching Netflix. So she's trying to recreate this, I guess it's a sexy first date by wearing this sexy flight attendant outfit. But it turns out Julian hasn't even left London, so she's really sad, and Buckley still can't open his presents. And by the way, Buckley is never happy until the very end when he reveals that he didn't want superheroes, he wanted villains.
Yep.
And he's only happy when he's beating the crap out of Titus.
Yep.
Dressed as a robot.
Sociopath
Because
child.
he's going to be a serial killer.
Yes. That's his childhood is spelling out future serial killer to a T. And I think my favorite scene was at the end when Kimmy gets called into Jacqueline's room, and she's always got the mascara everywhere from tears. And she reveals that she thinks her marriage is falling apart, and that she thinks her husband's cheating on her, but not with Fat Rhonda.
No.
Because she was probably in charge of hiring Fat Rhonda for sure.
Yeah.
I was an assistant in the assistant world, and there are wives that were assistants, and then they make sure they're in charge of the next assistant, and they're always
That's
fat.
hilarious.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's real. That's a real thing.
Oh my God.
I know.
I absolutely believe that.
That's a whole other after show.
But I loved so much when she was talking about him being in Japan or whatever, and said that he could, like, you can buy prostitutes out of the vending machine. I was like, you know what? That's, like, true, though. Like, over there, they, like, stack them up in those little hotel rooms. I'm like, that's a true statement, Tina Fey. That is probably true.
My friend, my roommate, really, she just got back from Japan, and she was sending me all these pictures where they have, like, vending machines with underwear and all this, like, kinky shit in it, and, like, just weird things. So when I heard that line, I was like, all right, that's right on the nose.
She has a right to feel threatened by Japan in general, then.
Correct. So yeah.
Crazy land.
So then Kimmy patches her up. She was fired 1 second, but when she reveals that she was able to ground Xanthippe for proving that her boyfriend was from the Babysitters Club, suddenly Jacqueline loves Kimmy again. Calls her best friend. And they're spooning.
Which was so funny. Her counting to 10 through it, like holding her barely even sitting, like laying up against her body, staying like 2 inches above her and almost like looking over her. It was so hilarious how uncomfortable it was. It cracked me up.
The flashbacks there weren't as many flashbacks this episode as I was hoping for, but
No.
they were good. And I like how they tie into like weird little quirks about what makes Kimmy who she is and how it pays off in the long run.
Her 10-second method.
Yeah. Which I caught myself doing that the other day.
Really? After watching it, did you start doing
I was
it?
at work and I was just doing something I hated and I was like, okay, Kylie, just count to 10. And I did it like 3 times and I was like, okay, I think this means maybe I just need a therapist.
That's like learning from Kimmy, though.
I know.
Is that a good role model?
Yeah,
for
I
us?
mean,
Apparently.
whatever gets you through the moment is the lesson.
Who doesn't look up to a lady in light-up shoes? Because to me, that is my role model.
Rock star.
Have you guys ever seen, it was this movie, Brendan Fraser was in it, I can't remember, it was about, it was like about him and his family in the 60s.
Oh,
they
yes,
were stuck
the
underground.
Undershelter.
Yeah,
And
Blast
they're
from the Past.
Blast from the Past, yes.
I loved that movie.
I loved that movie, too. This show reminds me a lot of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
How they're like socially awkward.
But Brendan
slightly.
Fraser is Kimmy Schmidt, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's adjusting to the real world. I mean, she barely has an 8th grade education.
Which is so sad, because it seems like she's really smart, and I don't know.
I want her to hook up with the tutor.
Oh, she will.
Oh, yeah.
Have you watched? Oh, you haven't watched.
No, I haven't watched, but I
okay.
just know.
No, it's going to be that one dude from Mixology that's going to be on the show. I can't remember his name. He's really attractive, and I think he's British.
Oh, the bartender from Mixology?
Yes! No, not the bartender.
He's a British
the
guy with
blonde
red hair.
dude.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
He's on the credits. He's got to be that hookup.
Well, regardless,
So I'm standing by.
I want. I know I totally just jumped to making a prediction in the middle of nowhere, but I want Kimmy to get a boyfriend. Should we just jump into predictions?
Why can't
Is
she
that
get
what's
lots of boyfriends?
Yeah.
Oh, she can do that too.
Which she may.
She needs to catch up
Danica?
for last time.
All right, let's make predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz
That's me trying to be
TV
Sir Richard Wentworth.
predictions.
Sam, all right, so give us your predictions.
Okay, I'm going to say Kimmy is going to kind of slut around a little bit, but she's going to pull back. But in some ways, her character reminds me of Jess from New Girl, and I don't want it to be too similar. She's got to go a little crazier than Jess does because she has so much pent-up things that she needs to get out. So I want to see her do crazy things, like do some bad things, like maybe drugs. I don't know.
Well, I think she has a little more rage than Jess from New Girl.
Yeah.
Like, the rage peaks out. So, I mean, she does have that cutesy, like, little kid vibe, but she's got crazy in her.
Exactly. Sure. And I want to get introduced to more characters, and I think we will continue to do so. And I want to see Tina and more SNL people.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm ready to see her dating life, which I didn't even think about. If she was, what, like 15 when she went underground? I wonder how much experience she does have. I kind of want to hear about that. I want to see also if we're going to get flashbacks of Kimmy prior to her going underground.
Or even seeing her getting kidnapped. Like, if there's a flashback of that happening. Although she's already told us, so who knows if it needs to be seen. I want to know that life. And where is her family? Are we going to see her family? I would like to see her family.
Question, yeah.
Great.
So Danica's like, I can predict all of the truth.
Psychic, know everything. But no, I will predict that you guys will really enjoy seeing what Kimmy does at work. Because, I mean, we just left off with the spooning. That's like task number 1. So it's going to be weird things like that going on, but different throughout the rest of the episodes. And I think you guys will love it.
Can't wait.
That doesn't give too much away, right, guys?
No, that just makes me really excited. I'm seriously going to binge it. I apologize ahead of time because I know I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
I feel it in my bones.
I'm impressed you guys have enough strength to,
It's making me mad. I watch it, like, angry because I know I can't watch the next episode after. But
I'm torn. I said at the beginning of this show I was not going to binge watch the show so I could bring the people the best after show. But even the people have seen more than I have. Guys, I'm struggling. Comment below and tell me if I should binge watch the whole series. I just want comments. What's my prediction? Well, I actually saw someone tweet a photo of Tina Fey in the show, so I'm going to predict that Tina Fey makes a cameo. Well, no, wait. A cameo would mean she's playing herself. I don't think she's going to be playing herself. She will make an appearance as a different character.
I think that and this is just random, but I think that she's going to play maybe Julian's ex-wife prior.
Oh.
Maybe. Is that right?
Oh, my lips are sealed.
Good.
We shall
Well,
see.
now that's just what I want her to play, and I'm going to be so wrong.
Our engineer is shaking her head at us because she's seen this show. Actually, this whole after show, we've been obviously saying ridiculous stuff because she just keeps shaking her head in disapproval. Yeah. It's not agreeing.
She's like, you're all wrong. I'm pretty sure every single person that's listening or watching right now has watched every single episode, and we are just stupid. So I guess we should just do it.
I was actually on the phone with my friend from New Jersey before coming here, and I was like, "Oh, I'm doing the after show for Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Have you heard of it?" And she's like, "Yeah, I watched all of it last week. Just binged watched it." And I was like, all right.
Has been decided.
We shall see.
All right, we've made our predictions and we've decided we're going to binge watch the whole show, but we will only be back next week to recap episode 3. So come back next week and just recap episode 3 with us and find out if we actually binge watched the whole series. Sam, where can everybody find you on the internets?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43 and online at samdavidsonentertainment.com.
You all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @thehotshotdude.
And you can find me online at Danica Kennedy.
Wow, easy peasy.
Easy.
Find me.
That's my name. It's easy.
Yeah, so easy. Mine's not as easy. Find me on Twitter at the Kylie Hodges, but on Instagram, just at Kylie Hodges. And thank you guys so much for watching. Come back next week and let's giggle about how much we love Tina Fey. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.